Journaling cards. Wondrous, wonderful journaling cards. That's what we're going to be talking about today, and that's what we're going to be creating. Journaling cards are these lovely and wonderful little things that you tuck in the tuck spots and the envelopes and the pockets of your altered books and your junk journals that give the reader the opportunity to take a pause or to slow down a little bit and maybe write their thoughts. That's what they're intended for, to be a place where the person that ends up eventually with the book can write little notes about their experience or whatever they're using their journal for. So we're going to talk a little bit about these today, and these are just index cards. Remember, one of my very favorite hacks is to use index cards because they're really nice sizes. And these are the smallest that I know of, and they don't have lines on them. They're just the unlined index cards. And what I have done to these before today is I have tea stained this one, and I have dyed this one with avocado dye, all handmade, that I will teach you sometime in the future this year. We will definitely talk about that, but I haven't figured out exactly how to bring the kitchen into my studio and show you all the steps for making natural dyes and using them. So just keep that in mind and keep checking back because we will be doing that. So anyway, avocado makes a really nice pink. A very, very nice pink. One of my favorite colors. And you'll probably, if you know me well and you know my background, you will find a hint of pink almost everywhere in all of my work. And then this one is tea dyed, so it's a little bit lighter, a little bit different, but they're fun. They're fun to make, and they are fun to decorate. So what I have done to these is I've got a couple here to show you my process. And the first thing I'm going to do is round the corners. I just prefer to have my corners rounded. And of course, they can be bigger than this. This is a small corner rounder. Whoops, I didn't get it in the right place on that one. So you can come back and fix things sometimes. I love it when I kind of make a mistake and show you my oops moments here. So just make sure you get that in there and make sure it's squared up before you press on the punch part. All right, so that's pretty good, Rebecca. And then the next thing we are going to do is age the edges. As you can see on these in here, the edges are nice and aged and beautifully done, because that's part of the process in the junk journal and altered book world. Is people love aging. And of course, I think I've told you about this and I've shown you this maybe once or twice. My favorite aging medium is shoe polish. It just works well for me. So I've got shoe polish in brown. I've got just an old stencil brush that is what I use. This is always the brush I use with this. And this is just a little coated piece of magazine that I use, and I'm going to swirl it around up here a little bit, and then I'm just going to come down and swirl around the edges of my card. And then I'm just going to rub it a little bit with my fingers, and you see it's already getting dry. I just prefer this method. Most of the shoe polish stays out here on this protective page. But anyway, you would do that to both sides. And I'm going to show you what to do on a darker surface. This one was pretty light, so I like to use a whole lot more of the shoe polish on the darker one. And you will see, again, I'm just gently going around the edges, swirling. The motion is just little teeny circles, going pretty fast. You can slow them down, and it doesn't matter if you go left, if you swirl clockwise or counterclockwise, it really does not make a difference. But I use much more paint on a darker surface than I do on a lighter one. Duh. I would say. That's a no-brainer, isn't it? Okay, and of course, I like to do both sides. So let me just quickly go around here, because I've got a couple of other things I want to show you about this. And I just kind of wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about taking your time and the process we're going through here. It's not about fast, rush, rush, rush. Kind of like sometimes I get in my studio and I feel like the Energizer Bunny or a wind-up toy, and I feel like I've just got to go, 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 and get it done and get it finished. And that's not really what I'm trying to accomplish this year with you all. I am trying to get us to kind of have a sense of slowing down. That's why I call it slow drip. Like slow and steady wins the race. Not that it is a race, but we're just trying to develop this practice of getting in our studios and creating something every single day in 2020. And that's a big commitment. That's a big commitment for me, especially to make these videos. But that's what's going to keep me accountable. But it's a big commitment for you as well. So I just want to say a little bit about that. It's not about how fast we go. It's about how we do the race. It's about the process. So let me clean this up. And by the way, if you want to clean your stencil brush and you're using an oil or something based paint, use some baby oil. That's what will clean it the best. And just make sure you save that particular brush that you're using for oilier mediums. Save that brush for just to be using in that instance. Best brush practices. Okay, so let me stick these back in here. And I want to show you a couple more that I have actually done some faux stitching on. A lot of times will actually do stitching on them with the sewing machine or even by hand. I love sewing as much as I do painting. So let me show you that process if I can find there it is. I knew I had a ruler out here. And again, I am using my Tombow ink. So it will, remember, it will be activated by water. So if you want to make this permanent and you don't want to mess it up, then use a permanent marker like a Sharpie. So what I do is I just come in here and kind of eyeball it. But if you are much more careful, you can actually follow the lines on a ruler. And sometimes that's why I like this ruler so much. It's got all these different scales on it. So you could actually come in here and follow the scale if you want. I'm not going to do that for time's sake. And I'd have to get my head right down in there so I can see it. But there you go. We've got 4 more beautiful cards made that look like they are stitched, which is fun for me and fun for you. So Again, this is developing a daily creative practice for us. If you want to see all of the videos in one place, you can go to Creativa on Facebook. That is where they are all stored for now. Eventually, they're going to get on my YouTube channel, but I haven't had time to do that as yet. So before I get too far behind, I do want to do that. So remember, this is developing your daily creative practice, and to just slow down and take your time and enjoy the process of creation. And I'm going to talk a little bit more. Right now I have a poll up on Creativa on Facebook about what the tagline should be for this whole thing I'm doing this year. And I had 5 suggestions myself, but one of my very favorite former students, Laura, gave me a really good idea about contagious creativity, and I just love that. So I think that's going to be part of it for sure. So thank you, Laura. Shout out to you. And I think it's probably been 10 or 12 years since she took a class with me. It was a long, long time ago, wasn't it, Laura? So anyway, I bless you, and I thank you for giving me that wonderful awakening comment. And if you all want to go take that poll, it's up another probably 5 days. I would love to hear your feedback too. So anyway, this is Rebecca, and I will be back tomorrow with some new and wondrous thing to do for our journals. Oops, I almost forgot. I wanted to show you where you can tuck these. There's our nice little pocket that we made yesterday. So I'm going to put 2 of those in there, and like I said, it's a stopping point for you to pick out and pause when you're looking through the book and just do your thing. Write on them or whatever. Okay, so this is really the end. I've tried to end this 3 times, so this is the end. And may peace and joy be with you all.